Hello, everyone, and welcome to Off the Record with
Judah
and Kirk. Today, we're going to be talking about Peacemaker, Season 1 and 2. This is like a retrospective video.
Yeah, full series retrospective.
Yeah, I finally watched it a lot later than Judah did.
Yeah.
He was watching Season 2 basically as it came out.
Oh, yeah.
We tried watching Season 1 together, but then it was just like, it's really hard to watch a show with hour-long episodes like that while we're also trying to watch all the Star Trek and things.
Yeah.
So we ended up watching it separately, but we have a lot of similar opinions about it.
Yeah, I would have to say we do.
Yeah.
It is quite interesting. So, Peacemaker, Season 1. Thoughts?
Season 1 was good. It was a bit repetitive with okay, we're going to go fight the butterflies. Oh, and we're going to go fight the butterflies. And guess what? We're going to go fight the butterflies. As the season progressed, it got better, I would say. Yeah. As the resolution kind of came into view. As they actually started doing damage and like figuring things out and understanding what was happening. And the revelation as well, and we're obviously getting the spoilers here, but the revelation that, what was the guy's name? The black guy.
The dude that was their handler?
Yeah. Forget his name, but he was one of the butterflies as well, like one of the people that they were hunting down.
Yeah.
But I guess like one of the good ones were the ones that didn't agree with what the rest of them were doing, and that allowed a lot more information to come to light to us, the viewers, to actually understand where the resolution of this season is going. And so, kind of by that point, things got a little bit better.
Yeah.
The early season, I feel like, and I did watch this like months ago now, so I may not be remembering quite correctly.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just a little too much setup. Like a little too much. Here's what you need to know. And that's, I mean, back then it wasn't part of this new DCEU because it was still with the
DCEU.
Yeah, the
DCEU. The Snyderverse.
Yeah, the Snyder stuff. Obviously that's retroactively been changed with season 2.
Yeah.
And the flashback to the Justice Gang coming down and all that. But for it, especially considering that it wasn't in a new universe, there was a lot of background in the show.
There was.
Like, maybe you could forgive it if it was originally set in this universe. Even then, it would have been too much.
Yeah.
But because it wasn't, it's like...
It's kind of wild.
We should know all this stuff already. And if you're having to set up that much, it seems like you don't trust your story.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it does kind of... The second season, it feels like they don't trust their story. Even more than the first season. But first season thoughts, the early season is so carried by Vigilante. Like, it's the only entertaining part of the show. Yeah. And he's so...
I think even season 2, he's one of the only entertaining parts of the show.
It's so unhinged, and he is quite funny. And Peacemaker is likable. Like, John Cena is a likable guy, so you like Peacemaker. But I think in the early season especially, like, those are kind of the two characters that you get, at least... I feel like we agree on this. It's like that. Those are the two characters. We're like, oh yeah,
and it's because the rest of his kind of squad was actually very
somewhat antagonistic.
He's on their side. They're working towards the same goal, but like he's only doing it because he has to. Yeah, and they're willing to like use threats against him.
Yeah, they're his handlers basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like John Economos in retrospect, and I don't know what I think of what's her name? Iota? What's her name? Iota. Oh. You know what I'm talking about?
She was in the Minecraft movie.
She was in the Minecraft movie.
That character. I forget her name too. Yes. Yeah, because I don't care.
I don't know. And she grew on me over the season.
Yeah. Even through season 2, which I really wasn't expecting because I saw the twist of season 2 coming, which we'll get into that. Yeah. But I was not expecting in the modern day and age to like her character in that kind of story because I felt it would be too preachy. But actually, her character got even better then too, and we'll get a little more into that. But as time went along, her character got a lot better. But I still don't care to know her name though.
Yeah, but I think Harcourt kind of like remained the same. Yeah, like the second season especially, a lot about her. Mm-hmm. I mean, we get some stuff in season 1, but she doesn't like all the characters. Peacemaker especially grow, evolve, change, moving on. They're having their character development and stuff. But Harcourt, like, what does she learn?
Yeah.
The power of friendship? ?
Yeah, and not even that. The power of by the end of season 2 is really just the power of love. But also, is it?
Is it?
like,
does it work? Does love even is it real? Like
for her in that situation, it's like we're not
is that
entirely
just like
sure there.
Revenge, you know, like there's a whole dynamic there.
Yeah,
but first season, second half really picks up. I think it's great. Judo Master is really funny. I think the best scenes are probably from the finale and then the episode where Judo Master captures Peacemaker and Vigilante and tortures them. Mm-hmm. I was on the floor rolling around laughing. And
I did funny. Like Judo Master as well. He was a great character, especially going through season 2.
Oh yeah,
actually a lot better. And a little bit of a not so much twist, but a little bit of a twist at the very end. I think actually the finale episode or the end of the penultimate episode. Where he has a moment, and we'll talk about that again.
Yeah.
We're very much getting ahead of ourselves because season 2 is the most recent one, and so that's what we want to talk about. But, his character as well, really interesting. I like that guy.
Yeah. And then Eagley, standout, fantastic.
The only character I care about. By the way, no, that's season 2. We can't talk about that yet.
We're going to get to I know exactly
I want to get into that. So, Season 2 is we're still not talking about it, but I want to say season 2 is the worst season, but somehow the one I really want to talk about more.
Yeah, there's so many thoughts. Okay, final wrapping up season 1 thoughts over here. Talking about his relationship with his dad and then the death of his brother as the character development for Peacemaker and like making him into what he is when we see him to start the show is for such a character that's kind of a gag and kind of just a mock Captain America, really, is like, we needed that. That was so hard-hitting. It's kind of crazy. Because you're not really expecting that at all. So, moving on, season 2. Now, we are starting off, interestingly. We see where our characters are now. We see some developments happening with everyone, right?
Yeah.
We see some small endowments, too many, to be precise. Yeah. And we get the sense...
And Peacemaker's depressed.
That's, we get the sense that Peacemaker is not having a fantastic time.
And really all of episode 1 is just like, here's proof.
Yeah,
he's really depressed.
He's depressed, yes. Yeah. So, we get into that. He's in his, what is it called? What's the room? What is the door?
Oh, it's the quantum folding chamber. But before that, we actually learn that Economos, right?
Yes.
Is spying on him for Argus. Doesn't like kind of reluctantly, but is a little bit of a coward. Doesn't want to lose his job. Doesn't want to like get, I don't know, brainwashed or something by Argus, which they would do.
They would. So they definitely do.
They very much would, especially with Flagg.
Yeah.
Rick Flagg Sr. would, with how bad he has it out for Peacemaker because of the events of Suicide Squad, which I'm glad you had me watch for. Before we started watching this. Which we did make a video on months ago. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But, I mean, he has reason to hate Peacemaker, but that also means he would do anything he could.
Yeah.
And so, Economos is kind of... He's a coward, but you understand why he doesn't want to exactly go against that. So he is spying. But also, at the same time, he doesn't want to betray Peacemaker.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So he's not giving them all the information.
He's not, which is
And
great.
one bit of information is what you're going to with the quantum unfolding chamber. He walks into it.
Yes.
They pick up like an energy signature from it, right? Argus does.
They do.
They don't necessarily know what it is. Flagg is getting suspicious at this point that Economos is not giving him all the information.
Giving him anything,
but
we
can talk about what's happening there.
So Peacemaker. So there's a gag of the alien in the background. That we see. So you're like, gag. Oh. There's clearly this goes to other places.
Yeah.
Like, there's more doors than his entrance, so clearly can enter other places. And so he enters a specific door and winds up on Earth where his dad and his brother are not dead. And he has, a beautiful heart-to-heart with them. That's just fantastic. And they seem like they're superheroes. We get to see, some newspaper clippings and things like that. And they just have this lovely moment. Yeah. And then he leaves. But not before meeting someone. Who does he meet?
Harcourt.
Yeah. In this other universe. Who, unlike Harcourt in the main universe, this Harcourt likes him a lot.
I don't understand why she would, but
yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me either. For plot reasons, she does, And so he's just kind of like embodying the life of the other universe's version of him, right? For a little bit. And then he's like, oh, that was good. I still got to return back home, right?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, he runs into himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that go?
They're fighting in the quantum unfolding chamber, the space between realms, I guess, worlds, Earths, whatever, universes.
Universes. Dimensions, even.
And they're just fighting back and forth. Prime Peacemaker doesn't really want to be fighting because he's kind of intrigued by the whole situation.
Yeah.
This Peacemaker, though, we eventually learned that he definitely would have reasons to want to kill, an imposter, essentially. Yeah. But we don't know that yet. And so they're fighting. Eventually, Prime Peacemaker wins the fight purely by accident, by pressing this jetpack thing that he has and that alternate Peacemaker has, and he flies into this spike in the ceiling,
which is greatly placed.
Yeah, and so gets impaled straight through the heart on that thing and dies. And then there's a really funny scene that I know you want to talk
about getting chopped up.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, with your favorite character,
my Vigilante, who we did not. Okay, my hot take. Spoilers again. We did get 2 Vigilantes this season,
and both of them are awesome.
Are great.
They're both perfect.
They're both fantastic. But I still don't think we had enough Vigilante. I was like, where? I was watching scenes and I was like, where's Vigilante?
So that's
where's Vigilante? You know
and now that we're talking about season 2, I'll mention the entirety of season 2, save the last episode, is so useless and boring, and I don't care.
It's
the
all
last episode
building up to some kind of reveal, and the reveal is just kind of bullcrap, really.
Yeah, and you kind of figure that out as well, and so it's just like, okay, now when are they going to figure this out?
Yeah.
And by they, I mean Peacemaker, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Because everybody else figured it out real quickly. But yeah, the last episode, that's when you get the 2 Vigilantes. That's when you start getting the parallel universe interactions, fun stuff, and when you start getting the kind of wrap up, but also intro to the next season. That if this continues, this is the storyline that they're going to go with.
Yeah.
And that storyline is what I find really interesting. Versus the storyline of this entire season was just like, oh my gosh, when are they going to get to it?
Yeah, Peacemaker is depressed. He's pretending to be the other version of himself, saving people, being a hero. This universe's Harcourt loves him. There's a point where he asks the main universe Harcourt, if she's going to be with him. Mm-hmm. She basically says no.
Yeah.
And he goes to the other universe and is like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
And so they go after him. Right?
Yeah.
So
but before we have Eagley.
We have Eagley. Okay.
The Eagley situation.
Why? I love it, but why?
It really... I don't know that actually happened, though.
Explain the Eagley situation to the viewers first.
They're hunting down, right? Argus is hunting down Peacemaker. They first just go into his house. He's not there because at this point, I think he's in the other universe. And so they don't find him there. They do find Eagley there. And by that, I mean Eagley finds them there. And they are cooked.
They are so cooked.
Eagley absolutely tears them to shreds, rips out eyes, slices their throats, everything. And they're like, what kind of a superpowered eagle is that?
Yeah.
There's the one character is bird blind.
Yeah.
And so he's like, it was a penguin or something like that. And then he also tries to just straight up lie about it later. He's like, you told me it was a ostrich or whatever bird he was trying to say it was. He told me it was. I swear, Peacemaker said that's what. Economos said that's what it was. And then Economos was like, no, I didn't. I told you it was an eagle. So anyway. And that guy becomes actually one of the main characters by the end of the.
It's
one of the heroes for season 3.
Probably.
He'll be
if we have a season.
If we get a season 3, he'll be one of the main characters in season 3.
Yeah.
Which I both love and hate. Hate because he sucks. Love because he sucks.
Yeah.
So anyway,
he's funny.
They're chasing after them, right? Mm-hmm. And after they figure out this bird, they need to get somebody who's going to kill the bird. So they get this total weird psycho shaman, definitely Native American faced.
Yeah, it was a little cultural appropriation.
Yeah, very much so. And just this absolutely crazy, wacky guy. And as he's losing to Eagley, he just starts coming up with this total BS lore as to why he's losing, and like that this eagle is actually a super special eagle and all that stuff. But it's all total BS. He's making it up. He doesn't know any of this. But then somehow, well, they're out in a cabin in the woods, and Peacemaker is trapping himself in the other dimension with what's his name again? Judo Master, who chases after him.
Yeah.
He's trying to chase this eagle, and he's like, he kills an eagle, and he's like, okay, I killed you. I killed the eagle. But then, as he's going up to the corpse, he sees another eagle, I guess it might just be a random eagle.
It might be.
And then a bunch of other eagles show up, and then this one eagle shows up I think is supposed to be Eagley, maybe? I think
it's supposed to be Eagley.
And it's like this super extra prime like eagle, like whatever, like it's got all the
greatest character in the entire show,
like glowing and all this stuff, and it's like this guy was just making up the lore.
Oh, he was.
Like he wasn't actually believing. This isn't something that somebody had told him and happened to be, somebody actually telling him the truth rather than making something up. Like, no, he just literally pulled it out his ass, and then still somehow it was right. And I feel like it's not actually the case. Okay. So he was imagining things.
You can think that, but see what I'm thinking.
It's not as fun to think that, though.
It's not as fun to think that. It's lame to think that. But what I hope that was, and knowing James Gunn, I hope that he's a big enough nerd to be referencing the red, which DC, there's primordial forces of nature that are. There's the green, which is like all plant and fauna life. There's the red, which is all like other land mammal life, birds, everything, all that good stuff. And then there's the blue, which is obviously the ocean. Right, those are the three. Roy G. Biv, RGB. Those are the three things. So,
Roy G. Biv is not three. Roy G. Biv is all the colors of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. It's just RGB. You can't say Roy G. Biv and then say RGB like they're the same thing.
Okay, RGB.
Thank you.
RGB. So with that, I hope that it's saying that Eagley is like each of the red, the blue, the green. They have like their spirits, I guess you would say, is the best way to put it.
He's the spirit.
And so he would be the avatar for like. Normally, Animal Man is the avatar for the red, or his daughter. Like Swamp Thing is the avatar for the green, or sometimes Poison Ivy. Or Aquaman is the avatar for the blue, or sometimes his wife. Like, no, the avatars change, right? But it's generally like the peak, whatever embodiment of that, and they have control over all those kinds of animals.
Yeah.
So I hope that it's referencing that. It probably is just a bunch of random bullshit. But
what if it's actually Peacemaker?
Well, I have no idea what you mean.
What if the avatar is Peacemaker? Like you said, Aquaman's the avatar for blue, right?
Yeah.
What if it's Peacemaker? The eagle is just an extension of that. Or like it's one of the animals that he controls.
Because normal eagles don't hug people?
Well, yeah.
That's
for one
true.
thing.
But like, what other animals has he interacted with? Outside of butterflies, I guess, in season 1.
He literally did make friends with the one butterfly.
That's true, he did. I mean, that would be such a stretch, but I guess
it's a stretch because if James Gunn were like making such a deep cut, he would be making it where it is Eagley.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be making it where it's Peacemaker. But just purely from within the story, you couldn't say it's not Peacemaker. That's my conspiracy theory.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard all day. All right, talking about two more aspects of this season. First off is Harcourt and Rick Flagg Sr. So, breaking news, Rick Flagg Jr. died in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Rick Flagg Jr.
It wasn't my suicide, though.
Yeah. Rick Flagg Jr. was shaboinking, that's the
Harcourt.
Technical term, yeah.
Yes.
Shaboinking Harcourt for a while. So she was very broken up at it, which is why she treated Peacemaker so poorly, and yada, 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 yada.
Which, I mean, he didn't murder the guy.
Yeah.
The guy was also
trying to kill him, too, so, like...
Well, yeah, he was trying to kill him and was, technically speaking, a traitor.
Yeah,
but also, so is Snowden.
Yeah.
So, and we're not going to get into that. But,
yeah, we're not.
like it's like it's murky. So you can understand why Harcourt's like, I don't like you very much, but also I like you.
Yeah. And then we have Rick Flagg Sr., who is so interesting because going back watching Creature Commandos, watching
I haven't seen Creature Commandos.
We gotta watch Creature Commandos. Watching Superman, his character is so consistent, and he's like he's driven, but he's not against metahumans like some factions are. He's not really like pro imprisoning people without their rights. Mm-hmm. He's not for that. He doesn't really want to do it. In this, he doesn't give a as long as he can get Peacemaker. He is gonna be happy. Like he does, yeah. And so
it's very much a sequel to Superman, though.
In a lot of ways,
just without Superman.
Yeah.
Because obviously Lex is in it. I'm sure that was in the trailers, though I didn't watch him. And Rick Flagg Sr. is going to him for help.
Yeah.
And essentially he
they're trying
gets to Luthor's plan in Superman of having like other world for metahuman / empowered / alien prison.
The thing that he was going up against in Superman, in order to get Peacemaker trapped and in a fitting punishment for him, he goes along with and becomes the head of that plan.
Yeah.
Just to get Peacemaker
has a lot of Luthor's guys. He basically pulls them from prison. I'm sure they're still technically incarcerated, but they're in just plain clothes. They're working in this facility, all that.
Yeah.
Just working for him. It's like Lex's team, but with Rick Flagg, and Lex is still in prison, but it's Lex's plan still. He's still winning. He's still coming out on top of this whole thing.
That's very true. And it's so interesting to see this like character arc of like him being methodical and true to his character, and then being like, I really, like, this guy murdered my son.
Yeah.
I want him to suffer. All bets are off. I don't care.
And that's one thing that I really like about having an extended universe.
Yeah.
Where, like in Marvel, like I can watch some Marvel movie and there's character overlaps or references or things like that, and it's like, oh, I get that, or I see where they're going with this, even in the long-term story arc, and all those different things are connections, and you can get without necessarily needing the sequel to Superman. You get the follow-up to the story of Superman.
Yeah.
And, like, it's awesome. Like, you can get that in, obviously, Avengers, the original Avengers movie. It's a follow-up to the stories of each of the individual Avengers because it's just their life story, essentially. But even as you get further and more in-depth into the MCU, you get a lot of those moments where you get follow-ups to stories in entirely different...
and even characters that are crossing over from franchises, and their arc is being told over these
right. And so that's what is happening here, where we have Rick Flagg
Senior,
he's got Senior, who's got his story going on, but then we also have it's Rick Flagg's Junior's story is still, even though he's dead, his story is still like continuing on.
Yeah.
And Superman,
even
though not Superman himself, the story that of Lex even being in this.
Yeah.
Is really interesting that we're actually getting continuations of these things. Well, it kind of moves up the timeline a lot. Because if it was just, okay, we've just got Superman, right? The second movie could have been this. Yeah. In a lot of ways. Obviously not one for one, but it could have been in a lot of ways just what happened in this story where Lex, gets out of prison or from prison still, affects his plans, right?
Yeah.
But that would have had to be like a full long... 2-3 year wait between the movies, and then if you wanted anything beyond this, you would have to wait again. But now we already have it because it's in this Peacemaker story rather than in Superman.
Yeah,
and we also will be having coming up soon another
of tomorrow.
Another Superman story coming along, and also we'll have a Supergirl story coming along.
Yeah,
just in the summer in a couple of months here, and that will also be in a couple of ways.
Yeah.
Follow-ups to the Superman story. Not completely, not in the same way that Peacemaker has been for Superman, but still. And so you just get a lot more, even though they're different stories. And then, as well, I want follow-ups to the Peacemaker story. Maybe I can get those in Superman or in Supergirl or in things like that. And just the interconnectivity of it, it really builds the hype that DC's been missing. And that's what I'm so excited about DC for. Assuming everything goes well and they keep James Gunn and them being bought out doesn't change all the plans. That's what I'm really excited about. Yeah. Because that's what we need in the superhero world right now, because Marvel is not it.
Marvel is not, they're not on any front. I think it's interesting because Rick Flagg Sr. is a character in all three of the DCU projects that came out over the past year, really. So Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker, and his role has gradually gotten bigger and all those things. Yeah. And so we've seen more of his character. And I just think it's interesting that you have an arc with him through those 3 projects already. Like, it's a side character, really, if we think about it. Like, I don't think that he is going to be a main villain or he's going to be a main protagonist or anything. I think that he is there to progress the plot along.
Yeah, and he's not even really a main character in this story.
No,
he's
not really.
Just a follow-up of a previous story's character of Flagg Jr.
Yeah.
And he's also just an extension of Lex's character in this.
Yeah.
So obviously he's his own character, but also you're right.
Yeah.
He's not a main
villain.
He's not a main antagonist. He's just kind of a guy who's doing things and progressing the story.
Even his role is at least getting thought out in these things. So I think that's really good and interesting. I wanted to talk about the other Earth and specifically the brother and the dad from the other Earth.
So we'll give away now what the total plot twist was, Judah.
Yeah, the greatest plot twist that no one ever saw coming ever. No. It's a Nazi Earth. It's Earth X. Though they designated it as Earth 2, which I found really funny because...
I think it makes sense in the story, like, in the minds of the characters to call it Earth 2 because it's the second one that they found.
I find it really... Because Earth 2 in the comics is in a perpetual state of World War II, like it doesn't end. Yeah. So that's why the Golden Age heroes are still fighting the Nazis.
And Earth 2 in the CW shows is actually the opposite of that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more futuristic, like the real Wells is a good guy type.
That kind of stuff.
And so it's just whatever the second Earth they find, they will call Earth 2.
Earth 2, yeah.
Right?
And so they just happen to find...
Historically in the comics, it has been still designated Earth X.
It's Earth X.
And that's because don't go there.
Don't go there. That's
so
basically,
actually, maybe by the end of this, they do designate Earth X. They're like,
we've
been there.
Other Earths
this
before
sucks.
That. But yeah, I think it does have a number. I think it's in the hundreds or somethings, but it's not very memorable. Earth X is much more catchy than...
Well, in the CW, it's 10. Which actually is a double because Roman numerals X is 10.
Yeah. But we discover Nazi Earth. The thing I found interesting and I wanted to talk about, it seems like the dad in this Earth is kind of countercultural against their Nazi culture, whereas the dad in the other Earth was kind of racist and countercultural.
And you don't find that out until
the
last
right before he dies. Yeah. And I think it's interesting. It kind of gives that character kind of a whole different vibe where he is just kind of against whatever the normal culturally held thing is.
I would have loved to see more of alternate.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
I think he was the Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon, yeah. I want an alternate version of that.
Yeah.
Because his argument is really good. He's like, I can't take down this entire Nazi empire that rules the world. But I can at least take down some bad guys who are actually doing harm.
Yeah.
Like, I can do what I can, and obviously this is also, like, the association of Nazism and Christianity is obviously blatantly false and incorrect. Yeah. Actually, Nazism is a humanist religion.
Yeah.
It's its own religion. It's not Christianity. And the popular culture to associate the two is just completely wrong if you look into it in any way, shape, or form.
It's a false equivalence.
But in the story, obviously that's what they do. They make those kind of equivalent. But even still, he actually talks about it, the Blue Dragon, whatever the guy's name is, actually talks about it in a fairly realistic way of, when I get up to the pearly gates, I pray that what I've done here would be, enough. And obviously that's not quite theology, the best, more, theology to have of, like you said, workspace, but it's real. It's like, I do hope I'm doing enough here with the little bit I can do. I can't take down this whole Nazi government, but I can do a little bit, and I hope that that's going to be enough.
Yeah.
Again, not the greatest theology, but it's real.
It's real,
It makes sense. Somebody would say that. Especially in that situation. Yeah. And so I think that that's really interesting. It also does kind of go against the story a little bit, though, that they have the association between Nazism and Christianity, but then also have a pretty good, rendition of what a Christian might say in this character, right? Situation.
Because, that character, because you go back to the first season, his character is really just kind of like, he's a clan leader, if we're frank.
Yeah,
right?
that's, literally.
That's literally what his character is. And I think that is portrayed more as him fighting against the the government, kind of in a sense, like him fighting against the man. Like he wants to be independent, his own, think for himself. So he'll fight against whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that's what so I think that's like a consistent character.
It also makes you think, what if in even the Earth X universe, that he's not actually a good guy, quote unquote, like we've just been talking about him as. Yeah. Although I do think he actually is, but thought experiment. What if his character is just that he is... It's not that he believes in anything, it's that he believes against the thing. Yeah. So even
he's
if
just
you took...
antagonist to whatever
like,
it is.
if you took the Earth X version and you... not even, like, switch worlds, if they actually did end up toppling the government, would he then become more Nazi-like? Yeah. Maybe. If you took the Prime version of that character and you made the world Nazi... After a little while, would he start to even go against that? Like, that could just be that's the kind of person that he is, regardless of the universe. Yeah. I don't think that's actually the case, but it may be something to think about.
I think that that's my thought process. I think that's like a consistent... Like, I feel like there's got to be a consistent characteristic throughout your multiversal selves.
Well, but it's a consistent characteristic, sure, of him being countercultural, essentially. Yeah. But that doesn't mean... But the way that I'm trying to say is as a negative. Like, it's always a negative, regardless of, which universe it is and which side it is. Whatever the just simply being... It's being counter to be counter. Yeah. Rather than being counter for some reason. Because maybe that's just your personality, things like that. That's fine. But it's actually just being counter to be counter. Yeah. Which is a bad thing, I would say. Yeah. Okay, and so I don't think you're saying it from that perspective, and I don't think that's what it is from that perspective, but it might be something interesting to think about.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But, yeah, and then the brother's interesting. That, if you've ever seen The Office, it's Roy. And, oh my goodness, he got destroyed and beaten by people that probably should not have beaten him. And it was great. He's definitely going to come back down the line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way he doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's, like, literally no way. And also they called him Captain Triumph, which really bothered me, because I've read the Terrifics, and Captain Triumph is in that, and that is not... It was like, I was having a nerd moment where I'm like, this does not compute, this is not this guy. Error. You can't use the name. There's like so many generic captain names in the DC universe, it's not even funny. Yeah. And you picked the one that you shouldn't have touched. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just like...
Or you could have made a new one. Or
you could have named him literally anything else that would have referenced the comics. But not consistent with who Captain Triumph is in the comics. Go read the Terrifics. You'll find out. Yeah, I mean, we wrap up their happily ever after, kind of. They get him out of the universe. Yeah. They beat up the brother. He has like an emotional breakdown. Yeah. They embrace at the end. They make up. They start Checkmate, which was quite odd. That was how they chose to start Checkmate in this universe. I would have saved that for later, but that's just my personal opinion, having read so many comics. And so they start Checkmate. They're like an independent Argus, I guess you could say. All seems great.
Rick
Flagg kidnaps Peacemaker. And
well, what they do first is they actually do like a really cool, like, we're going to explore all the doors that we can type deal. Yes. And that was a lot of good scenes. And also a lot of good character moments for our characters of, like, even some of the characters that were just kind of background side characters that we don't care about. Like the bird blind guy.
Many weird
it was like
worlds.
Because they're going in different worlds and, like, people are, like, dying and being killed in weird, wacky ways and all these things. And obviously those are characters we don't care about, the ones that died. But the remaining characters are the ones that it's like, obviously they're a little traumatized about this, and they're like, what is going on? Why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. And then eventually we learn it's to find another Earth to entrap all of the villains, metas, whatever else you want to do. Whoever, the undesirables.
Yes, the undesirables.
Speaking of Nazis.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
And so they want to put them there. But what I really want to see, but it's just that I want to see, not that it would make sense for any story. Yeah. Is I just want them to be like, all right, we're gonna go set up a civilization over here now. Not like we're gonna go put the bad guys here. Like, it's like pure 1500s New World.
Yeah. You're like, this is the new frontier. We're going to these planets or these Earths or whatever multiverses to set that. That would be cool. But what they're going for is a little different. They're going for Salvation Run, which concerns me. So I want to vent about this real quick for the last 4-ish.
Before you vent, like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think about whatever we've been talking about here. I'm already forgetting because we've been recording so long. Do you like longer videos like this? Do you like shorter videos like the one yesterday?
All the above.
Yeah, I mean, tell us what you want us to do, and we'll most likely do it.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things coming up as well, so make sure you hit the notification bell to get notified when those release. And our Instagram, Off the Record JK, go over there.
Check it out. We got great stuff. All right, Salvation Run. Okay, so they found, quote unquote, I'm gonna put quotations mark, salvation. That's what they call it, and that's where Peacemaker is, and that's where they put the metas / villains / yada yada yada. Undesirables. Salvation in the comics is a testing ground for parademons who are the main militia for Darkseid. So they don't know this when they send all of the supervillains from all the prisons there. They think that
they're just going to do an absolute live action. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they're definitely going to do that. At some point, they have to.
Because it's so good.
It's so good. But, okay, so they send all the villains there thinking, hey, if we send them here, they're going to kill each other off and maybe start a new civilization on this planet where there's no space travel. They can't get off unless we
But we don't care because that's not our problem.
We don't care. They're villains. They deserve it anyway. So that they drop literally every villain you can think of that you know from DC is on this planet. And they form 2 sides, one led by Joker, one led by Lex Luthor, and they fight each other.
That's hilarious.
Right? It's great. It's fantastic. And then they discover that parademons are starting to pick them off, basically. And they realize, oh no, this is a training ground for parademons. And Darkseid's like, what are you doing in basically his forest for hunting? Because it's full of, like, the universe's deadliest creatures are on Salvation.
I still don't see how that's my problem. They're just getting rid of the villains.
Yeah. See, well, yeah. The thing is, Darkseid decides to turn the villains into parademons.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but the villains are not a fan of that.
No, I wouldn't be either.
Now, my problem with them introducing Salvation, we're going to get to it, because I'm not going to spoil the entirety of Salvation Run. Go read it for yourself.
Because there's probably going to be a lot of that happening.
There's going to be a lot of that happening. So, my problem with them doing Salvation is, what villains are we going to have for this? Because the entire story hinges on you knowing the villains, having the, like, Joker
I feel like
Lex
it
Luthor
wouldn't be Lex Luthor, though, because Lex Luthor found the place, basically.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to send him in there.
I think Man of Tomorrow might be...
Also, we don't have enough villains.
We don't.
Because the universe just started.
Exactly, that's my point. Like, why would we do
theoretically,
Salvation
there are
off?
all the same villains, right? But we haven't actually been introduced to them care when they get put on this planet.
By the time Man of Tomorrow, which I think will have elements of Salvation in it, that's my theory, comes out, we will have villains from Supergirl, Lanterns, Clayface, and maybe Creature Commando Season 2, right?
But Lex is going to be the villain in Superman again.
No. Brainiac. They just cast Brainiac.
Oh, that's right. Well, Lex is going to be in it.
Lex is the lead
But it
role.
is Brainiac. You're right. Okay.
Yeah. The whole premise of Man of Tomorrow is, who is the Man of Tomorrow? Is it Superman? Is it Lex Luthor? That's the pitch. It's actually Kirk. Surprise, guys. Spoilers for a movie coming out in 2 years. If it's secretly Kirk in the movie, then Warner Brothers, we're suing you for $1 million.
Yeah. Only $1 million?
$1 billion.
Thank you. Okay.
Several $1 trillion.
All of your money.
All of the whatever the U.S. debt is at
However
that moment
much
in time.
Netflix and or Paramount is going to buy you for, that's what I want.
All right. So you see my problem here with Salvation is, like, it's a villain-centric story. We barely have, like, 4 heroes. Yeah. So, like,
that's actually a really good point.
We have, like, 2
They
villains.
introduced it too soon.
They did introduce it too soon.
But also, it builds a lot of intrigue.
It does.
So really what that means is they would just have to push Peacemaker back a little bit. Which would suck because it's even though I didn't like this season as much, it's a good show. It's a good premise of a show. Yeah. It's fun at least to have around, right? But the only way to make it work then is to push it back so that we're introduced to more villains.
Can have more villains, yeah.
But we don't want to push it back because it's a good show.
Yeah.
So that's a predicament.
I don't think there will be a Peacemaker season 2. That's my prediction. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think he planned on it happening, though.
I think he did, but I don't think it's going to.
I agree that I don't think it's going to happen.
Whatever the plot of that is going to get reworked into a bunch of different projects.
Yeah. I do think it's not going to happen. I do think, though, that he was planning on it happening, and I wonder what the thought process behind that was.
Yeah. Because I think Salvation is not just like a Peacemaker little season thing. I think it is like a full movie, big... Like, Salvation could be a big event, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you could pick...
It could be the Avengers.
It could be...
Of the DC.
Yeah.
It could be the first big crossover.
It could be the Justice League having to deal with Salvation is like their first thing, you know?
The big team-up movie that
they have to deal with not only all the villains, but Parademons and Darkseid for the first time. You're like, whoa, that's crazy and big and bombastic, right?
That's actually basically what Avengers was, too. Parademons, aliens.
Chitauri.
Yeah, the Chitauri. And then the bad guys that they have to deal with before that is Loki.
Who was set up in Thor,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's broken clock strikes twice a day, you know?
Yeah.
But that's my problem with Salvation. What a final thing. Rate this season. Or rate the entire series. Give me...
Overall, the series is really good. Second place of the DC projects I've watched that are canon. I would put Superman, then I would put this. And then I guess I can count Justice League as a third place. It's kind of retroactively being included. Sorry, that's what I meant. Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I love that he knew what I was trying to say there.
Yeah, I did.
Suicide Squad is retroactively canon because of this series, I believe. Just like season 1 was retroactively canon.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be.
Yeah.
So I put it third place.
Mm-hmm.
This is second. If I had to break it up by season, I'd put this maybe even behind. I'd put this season, second season, in fourth. Mm-hmm. Suicide Squad, first season, Superman.
That I feel like I agree with that. I think
of what I've seen because I haven't seen the Creature Commandos. Yeah, I have a bookmark, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I think that it fell off so hard because I was so invested and thought there was going to be some big bombastic crossover. They were going to do some deep holes, get some Charlton characters in there, Blue Beetle, all yada yada. I thought that was going to happen. None of that happened. So disappointed. Such a letdown. And the first season was good, contained, great. Mm-hmm. Fan of it. I think the first season's like a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10 on the best episodes. I think the fall off for the second season is like, this is maybe a 5.5, 6 out of 10. Like this is,
it's not good.
Not to say that,
but the last episode on its own, 8.
It was disappointing to me.
I liked it.
Still like 7, but
I suppose that is a very volatile rating because it would change depending on what they ended up doing with it.
That's true.
If they followed the story up and it was a great story, then
you're like,
might
it's so
9,
good,
right?
Such good setup.
But if they don't do anything with it, or if they did something and it's not good, it's less so. Yeah. But I think it is a fairly good episode. I definitely think the best of the season.
Yeah.
Followed closely by episode.
The one before.
What, 7 or
7 and 8 are
the
best
penultimate episode.
Yeah.
Also really good episode because it sets up a little bit of
the finale.
The finale, which is obviously a setup for other things. So
but all in all, I would recommend you watch first season if you really are invested.
Yeah, if you want, if you're like me and you want to see everything,
completionist.
I've seen almost every single thing in Marvel. The MCU, right? A couple of the recent projects I haven't seen, like Agatha, right?
Yeah, not yet.
I probably still will eventually, though.
Yeah.
And so that's what this is. It's I probably still will eventually.
Yeah.
But watch season 1. Probably still will eventually watch season 2.
Yeah. So there's our thoughts on Peacemaker. We were long-winded. We did not think that we had that much to say about Peacemaker, but it turns out
it's because we went on a bunch of tangents about other things.
That's so true.
But I think they were good topics. If you liked this episode, let us know. Leave a comment. All those good things.
Yeah, and with that being said, good morning, good evening, and good night. God bless.
Bye.